Good day, everyone. I am Teacher Sheila, and you are at your English Hub. Look at these pictures carefully. Do they tell us something? Or do they tell us a story? The answer is yes. Okay, these pictures or all pictures tell us something and it tell us a story. And these stories have characters, setting, plot, the theme, and the mood or its tone. And these are what we call the elements of a story. Characters, characterization, plot, and setting will be the focus of our discussion for this morning. Let's go back with these pictures. Okay, the directions here is analyze the pictures below, then be ready to answer the questions that follow. I will give you 1 minute to analyze carefully, to study the pictures carefully and analyze them. Your time starts now. Let us have the questions. Okay, before we're going to have the discussion, I will give you first the questions that you need to answer. First question, who are the characters in the pictures or in the story? Second question, how will you describe these characters based from what you see in the given pictures? Number 3, how about the setting? How will you describe it? Number 4, why do you think the author of this story created or have written this? Number 5, what do you think is the message that the author wants to tell us? And the last one is, how do the setting and the characterization used by the author contributed to the message that he wants to deliver to his viewers or readers? So these are the questions that you need to answer after our discussion. When we say characters, this is one of the elements of a short story. Characters refer to persons, creatures, or things who serve as actors or movers in the story. So these are the people, the creatures, the animals, or the things who act in the story. They portray specific roles with corresponding dialogues and plot lines. They may be protagonists or antagonists. Okay, so that is what we call the character or characters. Let us have characterization. A characterization is one of the writer's tools or literary devices that occurs anytime the author uses details about the character to teach us something about him. Is it clear? So when we say characterization, the author of that particular story is already giving us information or details about this particular character. Okay, this is used over the course of the story in order to tell us the tale. Okay, so let us have the second element, the plot. Okay, so when we say plot, it refers to the arrangement of the event, developing the basic ideas in the story. So when we say plot, it is the events, okay, the sequence of events in the story. This plot has 5 essential parts. And the first one is the exposition. Exposition, when we say exposition, it is the introduction or the beginning of the story. So let us have the second part, which is the conflict. So when we say conflict, it is the struggle or the challenges or the challenge that the main character or the particular character in the story is facing. That is what we call conflict. A conflict might be character versus self. The main character or the character in the story is having a problem or facing a challenge or a struggle within himself. Okay, character versus self means struggles with own soul, physical limitations, choices, and etc. Let us have the second type of conflict, which is external. Okay, so when we say external, is the struggle of the character with the force outside oneself. The next type of conflict is character versus character. They struggle against other people. So this is very common. Struggle between one character in the story and with another character. Okay? And the fourth one is character versus nature. Struggles against animals, weather, environment. Okay, so that is character versus nature. And let us have the last type of conflict, which is character versus society. Okay, this is struggles against ideas, practices, or customs of others or of the society. So these are the 5 types of conflict. Let us have the third essential part of a plot, which is the climax. Okay, climax is the turning point of the events in the story. Okay, it is the peak point of the events in the story. Let us have the fourth essential part of a conflict, which is the falling action. So when we say falling action, this is where the resolution begins, or events and complications start to fall into place. Okay, so this is where the solution of the problem or the struggle of the character starts to be solved. Okay, and the last one is the resolution or the conclusion. This is the outcome of events in the story. The last element, okay, which is very important in this discussion, the setting. Okay, so when we say setting, it refers to the time and location when and where the story takes place. So when we say setting, it's not only the place. Okay, so it includes number 2, time when the story happens. Number 3, okay, weather conditions. So whenever we are describing the setting of a story, we need to consider the weather conditions, the social conditions, and the last one is mood or atmosphere. Okay, what feeling is created at the beginning of the story. So these are the contents of the setting. So we are done with our short discussion of this topic. Let us go back with the picture. After analyzing the pictures, let us have this question. Okay, so let us now answer the given questions. Okay, question number 1. Who are the characters in the pictures or in the story? The characters in the story or in the picture are, we have the old woman and the kitten. Okay, so these are the actors or the movers in the story. Let us have question number 2. Okay, for question number 2, how will you describe these characters based from what you see in the given pictures? Okay, so in question number 2, we are now applying or using the characterization. Okay, we need to describe these 2 characters, the old woman and the kitten. How are you going to describe these 2 characters? Let us have the old woman first. If you're going to look at the old woman, he is a calm old woman, okay, which symbolizes an individual who is full of knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so when we say old woman, okay, it represents an individual who is knowledgeable or who has more than enough knowledge about everything in this world. Another character is the kitten. So if we're going to do the characterization, the kitten here is a playful, or if we're going to describe the kitten, it's a playful kitten which represents young people of today's generation. What kind of young people do we have right now? They are adventurous individuals or young people who love challenges and who are sophisticated. So that is what the playful kitten or the kitten in the picture represents. So let us have question number 3. How about the setting? How will you describe it? So based from the picture, it's a very peaceful, calm, bright, and happy day or place. So let us have question number 4. Why do you think the author of this story created or have written this? Okay, what do you think is the reason why the author have drawn these pictures? As I am always saying, an author writes something because he wants to tell something. He wants to tell his readers or viewers something. Okay, so what do you think is the purpose of the author here? It is to entertain and to give us, maybe, to give us an advice. So if you are going to look at or analyze carefully the pictures, it gives us a message. So that is the reason why the author created this one. Number 1 is to entertain us. The second one is to give us an advice. So let us have question number 5. What do you think is the message of the author that he wants to tell us? What do you think is the message of the author that he wants to tell us? Based from the picture, the author wants to tell us that as young people, we need to be always ready with all the things which might happen any time of the day. We need to expect the unexpected. We need to be always ready to accept whatever the result of our actions. Okay, just like what happened to the kitten in the picture. He is very happy and excited in chasing the ball of yarn, which only brings him a big disappointment at the end. Okay, so there are people around us who are more knowledgeable than us. So we need to consider them and we need to listen to them. The very simple message that these pictures want to tell us. Okay, so let us have question number 6, the last question. How do the setting and the characterization used by the author contributed to the message that he wants to deliver to his viewers or readers? The elements or these elements give more color and meaning to the pictures or the story. So this make the meaning or message hunting more challenging and mind-blowing. Is it clear? So elements of the story, the characters, the plot, or the characterization and the setting are very important in the story. So it contributes something to the message of it. So that's all for today. See you again. Bye!